Welcome to Small Business Saturday.
Welcome to Small Business Saturdays video series with your host and my husband.
And my dad, Aaron Montgomery.
Join the conversation.
Let's talk some business.
All right. Well, good afternoon here in the United States. And we are joining you a little bit later on Saturday than we normally do because I have a special guest with me. And I'm going to go ahead and try to butcher the country he's from already here. Dean Green is going to be joining me in just 1 minute. And he is from Brunei Darussalam. And we're going to question to see if anybody knows where that is at. But he's going to be joining me in just 1 second to talk to us about writing better ad copy and how we can improve our businesses through that. So I'm excited to talk to him. I wanted to make sure we give everybody a quick second to join us, get online here, and start asking your questions. So we'll tune in shortly. First off, make sure you head over to my website at aaronmontgomery.info and sign up for my email newsletter that is going to be going out soon. I've been promising it for the last 3 weeks and have not had that happen. So hopefully Dean's help is going to get me over the hump here, and I'm going to have some good stuff for you. So, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and grab Dean here and bring him on to the broadcast. It is pinging him now. There we go. Welcome in, Dean. How are you this morning for you?
Yeah, it is. I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing great, and I really appreciate you joining us here today. So it's what, about 6:15 in the morning for you there right now? Okay, so you've got your coffee, and so for Dean, it's Small Business Sunday, but it's okay. So Dean, I'm going to ask you some questions about the ad copy here, but when you and I were talking before this, you mentioned that the family business is somewhat related to our industry, and you may have even brought a couple of examples. I don't know if you wanted to share those with the viewers or not.
Yeah, these are just some of the gifts that we made. These are
cool.
door gifts for weddings.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice foil packs there. Great. And good. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I know you've got a pretty wide background with different areas that you work with, a lot with the fitness folks and things like that. So that's fantastic. But I think your experience here covers a pretty wide gamut and is really going to help folks out. So let's just dive right in then, if you're okay with that.
Cool.
So the first question I wanted to ask you, Dean, is why is ad copy so important when it comes to things like email marketing and Facebook ads and stuff like that? What can we improve? Why is it important to us to get this right?
All right. So the first thing that's very important when it comes to writing ads is that advertisement, whether on your Facebook ads, emails, it has a direct impact to your business. So let's say if your advertisement is converting, it will have a direct impact to your sales. So that's why we need to work on that.
Awesome.
Okay.
So perfect. Yeah. Okay. So basically, because if we don't have good app copy, we're not going to have sales. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward. That's fantastic. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, then what do people need to look at the way they create their ad copy differently? What is it that we can change and do better then?
Yep. Okay. Before we talk about the ad itself, we need to talk about the very important part to it, which is first is understanding your client. Who's your ideal client? I know there are so many marketers who talk about this. The fact that there's so many people talking about this, that this is so important. One of the podcasts that I listened to, she mentioned that 60% of your marketing success goes to you identifying who's your ideal client. Because it's so true that if you're selling to the wrong people, that you're not going to sell anything, correct?
Yeah.
So that's your first step. You need to know who is it. So let's say you are in the t-shirt business or personalization business. You need to know who's your best client. If you are producing, if you have a factory of your own, then are you targeting corporate clients? Are you targeting your local governments? are you targeting the personal
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
in your area? So you have to know that. Then next next thing you want to think about is your offer, and that will go 30. It has a 30% impact to your marketing success. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about today is the advertisement that I create for our family business, a personalized shirt, where we only spend $10 US dollars on Facebook ads, and we created a sales of over $25,000.
Wow. For $10.
And yes,
That's a pretty good ROI.
well, I don't want to call it a lucky shot, but it's a mix of a good offer and the right timing. The thing is, we only wanted to sell 100 pieces of it, but we ended selling 700 pieces
Oh, wow.
because the ad went viral. So in my country, we have a king, which we call the Sultan, and last year it's his 50th anniversary. So it's like once in a lifetime event where we have all this coronation and all things like that. A parade, yeah. So what happened was we produced a shirt. The design is just okay. It's not something wow. And what works is because we added a bonus, a free pen or a free keychain, a limited edition.
Uh,
I mean, if you are in this business, you know how easy it is to just print on a pen.
yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
and that ad went crazy. Even the government called my aunt and my mom, because they are heading the project, to stop down the ad because we don't have a permit to do so, because we didn't know that we have to apply for a permit. So the government told us, hey, please stop this down because you guys don't have a permit. But it was too late because the ad went viral. So yes, so that's your offer. So that's very important. And then finally we talk about the ad itself. All right. So now the funniest thing is that even though that I'm a copywriter, I can only writing ads or the ad creative, which is coming out with videos or pictures. It only has like 10% proportion to your success.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's so important that it's like your final front line. Okay, now when it comes to Facebook ads or Instagram ads, the very first thing that people see is the picture. So you gotta come up with a picture that's good enough to make people stop and pay attention and watch and read the rest of your advertisement. That's it. That's the only purpose of your picture. You don't have to go super detailed on what color or the proportion of the ad. It's important, but you just have to have the mindset where it has to be good enough to make people stop. That's it. Otherwise, you think too much when you want to come up with the image. Okay? Or when you create a video, just make sure it's good enough to make people stop. That's it. Now, when it comes to your ads, what's really important is the first sentence of your caption, which is what you call the headline. So when you buy newspapers or when you read articles from the internet, you only read the headline.
Yeah.
It's good enough to decide whether you want to read the whole thing. So the same goes to your advertisement. It has a really good, a strong impact whether your ad will succeed or not. So one tip when it comes to writing a headline, just mention the one specific benefit that what the readers will get. For example, if you are doing a personalized gift for a wedding, you can say something like, hey, make your wedding more memorable, something like that.
Yeah.
But then if you're the cheapest in your location, then you can say, hey, make your wedding more memorable with our affordable gifts.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So that is something that you want to think about, just to play around. The benefit and what's your unique selling proposition. Are you the cheapest? Are you the fastest? Are you the safest? Are you the most creative? So that is something that you want to think about. So for the ad for the T-shirt that we created last time, I I tried to go a little bit emotional because we were talking about our king. I, if I'm not mistaken, I said something along the line, "Hey, let's take some time to appreciate what our king has done to us."
Okay.
Things like that, because
Yeah.
I want to make people think first and reflect what he has done to our government, because like, let me just share what he did. He gave us free education up until PhD level.
Wow.
Free healthcare, things like that, because we are only a population of 400,000 people, so it's quite doable to do that.
Sure.
So, and free housing and things like that. So I made people reflect, and before I start talking about the stuff that we're selling
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah. So you got their
Yes.
attention and you made it emotional first, and then you were able to then talk about your offer beyond that.
Yes, only after that. So that's just one of the way that you wanna get people's attention. With benefits, USP, or you can go emotional. Yeah,
Okay.
and that.
Awesome. Awesome. So let me just make sure I've scribbling notes as you're going here, because it's some great information. Let me make sure I've got kind of the rundown here for us. First off, you need to have a good picture that's going to at least grab their attention. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
the perfect picture. It just has to be attention grabbing.
Yes.
Second thing is you need to have a good headline, a headline that is going to, again, just like the picture, drag people in, make them start reading. Maybe like you did with your particular example there, appeal to their emotions. And then finally, your offer needs to kind of encapsulate your unique selling proposition.
Correct.
Do I have it right? All right. I passed.
Yeah.
I passed the test. All right. Well, I just want real quick. We've got a Alan Howe checking us out. Alan, how are you? Good to see you this afternoon here. I keep thinking that it's morning time because Dean's 6:30 in the morning there, and I'm 5:30 in the afternoon here. So, Alan, I can't remember if you're in Eastern time or Central time, but anyhow, not a big deal. So, Alan, any questions you have for Dean or me, please feel free to post them in the comments section there. Got Teresa Martin checking in with us here. Teresa, good afternoon. Hopefully you're doing well. Dean is sharing some great information. If you haven't caught what he's given us already, we'll recap here in a bit. But Dean, I want to ask you one more question here, and then, like I said, let's go back and recap again. But what's to you when you see other people's ad copy and things like that? What's the biggest mistake that you think that most people make that they need to change and fix?
Yep. Okay. One of the common mistake is that there's too much focus on your own branding. Okay, don't get me wrong here. Branding is good. It's for the long term. It's a long term solid game. But when you have the mindset that you want to focus on your branding, you will talk more about yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and most of the time, nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
What one people want to know is that what can you do for them?
Yes.
So it's it's a very crucial mistake because nobody wants to talk to someone who talks about themselves too much.
Sure.
So first mistake is that, so you want to focus, instead of talking more about yourself or how long have you been in the business and things like that, to client focus. So that's why we want to come up with headlines that focus on the benefits that people will get when they deal with you. So that's number one. And second, some people don't clearly show the offer that they are offering. They only show a picture and, hey, we have this, blah, blah, blah. Just, that's it. There's no clear offer. You really have to tell people what you offer, and you need to work on your offer as well, because sometimes you need to see whether is this a really good offer, does it appeals to what people want, or does it appeal to what people need.
Gotcha.
Because those are two different things. Want is something that people want, they don't really need it. So need is something that when you come to when the nature of your business is what something people need. For example, if you're in the wedding business, okay, or when you're doing corporate gifts, things like that.
Yeah.
It's something that they need, that you want to come up with the approach that you are there to help them giving what they need.
Gotcha.
So, and that's what you want to give it to them. And finally, there's some of the ads that I see doesn't have a calls to action, which is really crucial. I remember one time, I know this is just common sense, but I remember one time I saw a sponsored ad. I don't remember what the exact product it is. I was so interested in it, but then there's no calls to action. So I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to click a link? Because there's no link. Am I supposed to give you a direct message, or am I supposed to comment? I'm just not sure. And one thing that you want to know is that advertisements are not invited in people's life. Okay, people don't go on Instagram, people don't go on Facebook, people don't check email to read advertisements. So you want to take note of that. So when you don't have, when you already get people's attention, you make them read the whole thing, and then you don't give them a calls to action, because people are speed reading through advertisement.
Yeah.
So always put a call to action to that, and
Gotcha.
always have the mindset that people only have like 3 to 5 seconds to read the whole thing, especially a short Facebook ads on Facebook.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's really important.
All right. So I got 3 there. Let me just make sure I got them all right again here, because I want to pass the test today. I want to get my degree in writing better ad copy from you. Okay. So number 1, we want to talk about your customers. What's in it for them? Not write it from your brand's perspective, but write it from your customer's perspective. What do they want to hear and know about and learn and get from you, so to speak? So that's number 1. Number 2, clearly show your offer. Be specific about what it is that you are providing, and show them vividly that with their copy. And then the third, which is a great one, and I think you made a comment that it's kind of common sense, but a lot of times it is something that we just forget because we're so excited about the ad, the item, that we don't tell them what to do. And so that call to action is really important. So did I get those right?
Yep. Perfect.
All right. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, anybody viewing in live here, please feel free to shoot some questions towards Dean here. I want to actually go ahead and pop some stuff on the screen if I can get some things cleared out of the way so we can get it here. So if you want to reach out to Dean, Dean is a professional copywriter. And like I talked about early on, he's got a wide range of experience, does a lot with the fitness world, but also reaches our industry with his friends. Your family's business, where you understand personalized gifts and garments and things like that. So he can really help out there. So if you'll reach Dean at his email that's screaming across the bottom there, it's dean@deangreenmedia.com. That real simple, pretty straightforward. And you can reach him there, and he is more than happy to help you write some standout ad copy for Facebook or otherwise. And we can do that. But let's hide that real quick and go back here, because I do want to recap. Alan shared with us that the third is the best. That is gold, the call to action. So there we go. Got confirmation from Alan. Alan is an industry veteran, good friend of mine, and knows what he's talking about when it comes to this stuff. All right, Dean. Well, let's just recap before we get out of here. Again, I'll let you get to your Sunday. Again, I know this is called Small Business Saturdays, but Dean is joining us from Brunei Darussalam. No, I totally messed that up. Tell our listeners where you're coming to us from.
Okay. From Brunei Darussalam is a small country stuck in between Malaysia in Southeast Asia. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, if you know Malaysia and Singapore and Thailand, we're close to that.
You're right in that area. Okay. So
Yeah.
any of our live listeners, if you know where that's at, raise your hand. Let us know that you know. I had to ask him about 3 times and I still got it wrong. So now I'm going to have to go do some research and learn a little bit more. And Alan also added a piece here I thought it's really good. He said, love the 3 to 5 second space to read your ad. That's hugely important. And I thought, Dean, the point you made about the fact that folks aren't going on Facebook, we aren't going on Instagram, we aren't reading our emails to be advertised to. So it's really important that our copy is right on point because you've got that 3 to 5 seconds to catch their attention.
Yes.
All right, Dean. Well, I'm going to ask you to recap then real quick for us. The second question I asked, how do people need to look at the way they create their ad copy differently? And I had some three points, but I'll let you kind of give us the quick abbreviated version of that real quick, if you don't mind.
Okay. First, you want to focus more on your clients instead of talking about yourself. The best way to do this is that try not to focus too much on your own branding because if you want to make sense out of this, the more sales you get, the more people that you help, it will directly grow your brand. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, you want to have a very clear offer and you want to make it irresistible. That's the right word. Yeah, I should have used that.
Irresistible. I like
Irresistible. where if you watch the movie Godfather, if you don't take Don Corleone's offer, what happened? Yeah. So you want to make an offer like that.
Yes.
Try the best way when it comes to a gift business, either a discount or an extra gift, a bonus. Yeah. And third is make sure you have calls to action because you need to tell people what they have to do next. Either a call, go to a website, or email you, or go to your location.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Alan says he knows where your country is. He's been to the Philippines quite a bit. So there we
That's
go.
cool.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to pop this up one more time here too. Again, for folks to reach out to you and Dean at deangreenmedia.com. And, there you go. So any other questions before we let Dean go? We've got another comment here that says, I appreciate your suggestions as well. And we've got Carrie Pickett joining us here saying hi, Dean, and hi to Aaron.
Hi, Carrie.
Carrie, nice to see you. Any questions for Dean before we let him go here, folks? Just let us know. We're talking ad copy. Dean's given us some great tips and pointers in our less than 15 minutes that we've been together here. A little over 15 minutes maybe. So my time is all off, but all right, guys. Dean, thank you so much. I'm going to scroll this one more time. Any last comments, suggestions, things you'd like to tell our listeners here today?
Me? Okay.
Yes. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay, cool. So one very important thing that that I try to tell myself and every people that I know, I learned this from Craig Ballantyne. He's quite big in the fitness niche.
Okay.
That every entrepreneurs, whether you in every market, you have to know that it is your responsibility to go out and help people. What I mean by that, if you're in the gift business, personalized business, there are tons of people out there who needs you. Trust me, people need you, especially in the corporate world, and or even if whoever your target market is. So it's your responsibility to come up, write an advertisement, and sell to people because the world needs you. It's as simple as that. So I understand that some businesses they hold themselves back because let's not promote our business today. Let's do this next week. And with this mindset, you won't feel bad about coming up with promotions on social media, on emails, or spending money to spend on local newspaper ads or local TV or radio. Because once you start thinking that, hey, it's my responsibility to reach out to these people, then you wouldn't feel that way. You wouldn't feel bad. You will feel that, hey, let's do this.
Awesome.
then you will develop that some kind of responsibility that you have to people. So yeah,
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Well, that's very inspiring. That is fantastic. In fact, I'm going to need to start getting some promotions planned now. I'm inspired. This is awesome. Okay. Well,
thank
Dean,
you.
thank you so much for your time. Thanks for getting up so early for us on a Sunday morning there, and I appreciate everybody joining us and tuning in on a Saturday afternoon or evening in some parts here in the United States.
Yeah.
So it's been great. Again, please, folks, reach out to Dean at deangreenmedia.com. That's Dean at deangreenmedia.com. That's the best way to reach him. I've got links to him on Facebook as well, so you can find him over there and just let him know that you heard about him from Aaron Montgomery, and he will be more than happy to help you out. I'm going to solicit some of his services here myself. So, we do have one question, Dean, if you don't mind, before I let you go. What is your best form of advertisement that has worked best for you?
Okay, good question.
Yeah, really good question.
So far, to me, Facebook ads is one of the best because not only that is quite cheap, but you can target people. You can tell Facebook who you want to send this to.
Yeah.
As simple as that. Do you want to send it people? Do you want to show your ads to people within your location, or based on people's interest? Or you can do both
Yeah.
in a specific location and who are the exact people you want to target. And the best thing is it's quite affordable.
Yeah.
Not just affordable, it's cheap to do that.
Nice.
So
And I think
would-
I think you hit it right on the head that and that's probably the reason why. I mean, the reason why Facebook is so affordable or cheap, even like you said, is because we can target down to the very specific, minute. If I reach 10 people and make sales to 5 of them, that's going to cost me less money than trying to reach 100 people and only making sales to 5 of those 100 people. So
Yeah.
Facebook allows me to really target that, and I think that's really important with Facebook ads, is to target it down to the as fine as you possibly can. So great question, Carrie. Thank you so much for asking. Any other questions, folks, before we let Dean go here? We'll give him a couple of seconds while I want to scroll this one more time. Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Dean, appreciate it. And we will talk to you soon, sir.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming in.